So as I'm currently not working due to some health issues, I wanted to create a way where I can earn a little bit of income. So previously, I've had some success with a digital product, which was a recipe ebook. And I mentioned this in another video, but I generated around 800 Australian dollars, which was a pleasant surprise. And that's something I did last year. So this year I want to try again, and I want to create a different digital product, something more related to chronic pain, which is something I go through. So I thought by creating this video, it'll hold me accountable. It's also a great way for others to see the actual journey from the idea to creation to seeing if I even make any money. So in this video, which is the very first part of the series, I'm just going to go through how I'm making a start on this digital product and the tools that I'm using to create it. So let's get on to the first step. The first thing is I wanted to create something that I know a fair bit about, that I've learned over time, and it's a solution to a problem. So people have issues with chronic pain and health issues, and I feel like I'm on a good trajectory. Not quite there yet, but I've found different strategies that have helped me. I tend to use Notion, which is an online app, to write down all my ideas, just brainstorm as much as possible, and jot down everything that I want to include. And I already have a social media account where I have less than 6,000 followers, and I thought that would be the perfect place to share this digital product. But I'm going to make it a digital download, so it's just a straightforward transaction. I know it's always hard to get started on doing something like this because it can be a little bit daunting. I mean, you're creating a digital product probably for the first time, but it's pretty scary. You don't know if anyone's even going to bother buying it. Is anyone going to be interested? Why would they buy off me? There's so many questions, so many doubts and worries that I had initially, but because I've overcome the first hurdle, I feel a little bit more comfortable, and I'm looking forward to the end result and keeping my fingers crossed that people are actually interested in this. In terms of the content, I think about providing them with some sort of introduction, answers to common questions, the core strategies that I use, and how to practice it. Just think about the most fundamental questions that the person on the other end would need to know if they have the same problem as you and they had all the same questions that you had in the beginning stages, but you want all the answers laid out for them. You may even have written notes along the way when you're learning something new. So it's a great idea to go through those notes, and they'll give you an idea of what your page headers are going to be about. So in Notion, I list out all the different headings that I'm going to be using, and I've got around 30 different ones now, and I may take a few out or add a few extra later, but this is what I've got to start with. So at least the idea's there, the headings are somewhat there, and I've actually started the process of creating this digital product. Now, when it comes to design, I just tend to use Canva. I use Canva for all my design creations. I'm not using the pro version, I'm using the free version, and it does a hell of a lot. I've used it for my social media posts, I've used it for thumbnails on YouTube, and a number of other things, including my recipe ebook that I did last year. So the first thing you do on Canva is look for a template. If I see something that I do like, I can just tweak it a little bit to cater to my kind of style. I just use colors that I tend to like the most, which is blue and green, which I also use in my YouTube videos. So here you can see that this was the original, and these are the changes that I've made. The next thing I do, which I shared in another video on procrastination, is use my whiteboard. I've got a magnetic one on my fridge, and I lay out all the different tasks broken down to simplified tasks that I need to do to create this digital product. So now that I've selected a template, I've made tweaks to the colors and the design. Now I need to write the content, which is another area that most people would just not want to do because it takes a lot more brain power, it takes a lot more time and effort. I write on my whiteboard that I'll just write a draft for the very first page, so the introduction, and that's all I need to do for the day. So here you can see this is an introduction that I completed, and over the course of the next few days I try to do one page per day, and I cross it off from my whiteboard every time I've completed it, and it's very satisfying once I've done that because it just feels like I'm gaining progress on something that I want to create rather than not creating it at all. To get started with even writing, it's a great thing to do is just tell yourself to do it for 5 minutes. Even if, in my case, I'm aiming to write 1 page per day, I tell myself I'll only write for 5 minutes, but I end up spending half an hour and I complete that page on that day. And that feels more satisfying than putting it off to the end of the day and then it's too late and I'm too tired and I don't want to do it anymore. So it's a great way to just give yourself a nudge to start writing and start creating. So as I progress with this digital product, I'll be creating more videos as part of this series so you can see the whole end-to-end journey, all the steps that I've taken and some tips that you may find helpful in creating your own digital product. And I'll even show you how much money I made from this, which a lot of people can just treat as a side hustle. Because I'm not working, it'll be my main income, but hopefully in the future it'll become a side hustle. And I'm really hoping that this video will inspire others to do the same and create something that they know really well that other people need or want, and it's a solution to a problem. So if you want to join me in this series, feel free to subscribe and I'll see you in the next video.